Airport Security 2026, How to Pass TSA Without Removing Your Shoes or Jacket. Before you pack your bags for your next trip, there's something you need to know. Airport security has quietly changed. In 2026, new body scanners and updated screening algorithms are being rolled out across major airports worldwide. And they're not just looking at what's in your bag anymore. They're analyzing what you're wearing, down to materials smaller than a coin. Clothes that passed through security without any issues just last year are now triggering alarms, secondary screenings, and full pat-downs. Travelers are being pulled aside, delayed, embarrassed, and in some cases even missing their flights, all because of everyday clothing choices they didn't know were a problem. And here's the part most people don't realize. These changes are affecting older travelers the most. Shoes recommended by doctors, comfortable travel outfits, jewelry worn for decades, even warm layers meant to make a long flight easier. All of these are now being flagged by updated airport security scanners used by the Transportation Security Administration and similar agencies worldwide. Over the past few months, I've analyzed hundreds of real traveler reports, focused especially on passengers over 60, and the pattern is impossible to ignore. The rules you memorized years ago? They've been rewritten. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 specific clothing categories that are triggering airport scanners in 2026, and more importantly, exactly what to wear instead, so you can pass through security calmly, quickly, and with your dignity intact. And make sure you stay until the end, because item number 1 is responsible for more delays than all the others combined, and most travelers are wearing it right now without even realizing it. Before we begin, if you value stress-free travel, clear explanations, and practical tips that actually save you time at the airport, subscribe to the channel. We break down the rules airlines and security don't explain clearly, so you can travel smarter, safer, and with confidence. Now, let's start with the clothing item that's triggering scanners more than ever in 2026. Number 1. Multiple clothing layers. This is now the single biggest reason travelers are pulled aside for additional screening in 2026. Here's what most people don't realize. Modern airport body scanners, including the millimeter wave systems used by the Transportation Security Administration, rely on creating a clear outline of your body. They're designed to detect anomalies, and when you wear multiple thick layers, the scanner doesn't see winter clothing. It sees irregular shapes and dense areas that don't match a clean body contour. That triggers a manual check, every time. One traveler wore a tank top, a long-sleeve shirt, a cardigan, and a heavy coat, planning to remove layers later during the flight. She removed the coat at security, but the scanner still flagged her chest area because the remaining layers created dark zones on the image. The result? A secondary screening and a 17-minute delay. Another passenger layered a fleece jacket over a button-down shirt. He was asked to remove both layers and rescan. The line behind him grew, his stress level rose, and he nearly missed his boarding group. Security officers aren't trying to make things difficult. They're following protocol. The system treats unclear imaging as a potential threat. Here's the rule to remember. More than 2 upper body layers is too many. Wear 1 base layer and 1 lightweight outer layer, preferably fitted, not bulky. If you're traveling to a cold destination, pack the heavier coat in your carry-on and put it on after you pass security or once you're on the plane. Dress for the scanner first, dress for the weather second. Because in 2026, the faster your outline is visible, the faster you're on your way. Number 2. Jewelry. For many travelers, jewelry isn't just an accessory. It's sentimental. It's symbolic. It's deeply personal. Wedding rings worn for decades, religious medals never removed, medical alert bracelets that provide peace of mind. But in 2026, airport body scanners don't evaluate emotional value. They evaluate metal density. Modern millimeter wave scanners, including those used by the Transportation Security Administration, flag concentrated metal objects as anomalies. When multiple rings, layered necklaces, thick bracelets, or large earrings appear on the scan, they often trigger additional screening. And here's where delays begin. One traveler wearing several rings struggled to remove them due to arthritis after the scanner alerted on her hands. The line paused. Pressure built. What should have taken seconds stretched into minutes. Another passenger was asked to remove a religious pendant he had worn daily for over 40 years. Despite explaining its importance, he was told it had to come off or he would require a manual inspection. Security protocols don't allow exceptions for sentimental items if they trigger the system. So what's the solution? Keep it simple. Wear minimal jewelry, ideally just a plain wedding band and small stud earrings. Place additional items in a secure pouch inside your carry-on before entering the security line. This not only speeds up screening, it also reduces the risk of losing valuable pieces in trays. If you wear a medical or religious item that cannot be removed, use this phrase calmly and clearly. I have a medical or religious item I cannot remove. May I request a private screening? Officers are trained to respond to that request. In 2026, simplicity equals speed. The less metal you wear, the smoother your screening experience will be. Number 3, cargo pants and riveted jeans. They're practical, comfortable, familiar. For many travelers, especially those who prefer extra pockets, cargo pants feel like the perfect airport choice. But in 2026, they've become one of the most common triggers at security checkpoints. Here's why. Modern body scanners, including those used by the Transportation Security Administration, detect clusters of dense material. Cargo pants typically contain multiple metal rivets, reinforced stitching points, zipper pockets, and layered fabric panels. Even if every pocket is completely empty, the construction itself can create flagged anomalies on the scan. And when the scanner highlights those areas, officers must investigate. One traveler wore classic cargo pants with 6 pockets, all empty. The scan still flagged both thighs due to rivet placement. What followed was a manual pat-down and chemical swab testing of the pockets. The delay lasted over 20 minutes. Decorative jeans can cause similar issues. Many denim styles include metal studs, reinforced rivets along the hips, and thick seams that show up clearly in 3D imaging. What looks like fashion to you may look like concealment to a detection algorithm. The key problem isn't what's inside your pockets. It's how complex the garment appears to the scanner. Here's the simple rule. If your pants have more than 2 pockets, they're probably too complicated for smooth screening. Instead, choose streamlined travel pants, leggings, or athletic-style trousers with elastic waistbands and minimal hardware. No metal buttons. No rivets. No decorative studs. Clean lines scan cleanly. In today's airports, simplicity moves you forward. Complexity slows you down. Number 4, underwire bras and compression hooks. This is one of the most uncomfortable topics to talk about, but it's also one of the most important. Modern body scanners create a 3-dimensional image of the body. The millimeter wave systems used in many airports, including those operated by the Transportation Security Administration, are designed to detect irregularities beneath clothing. And even thin metal wires inside undergarments can appear as bright, undefined areas on the scan. That's where the delay begins. An underwire bra, even a lightweight one, can trigger an alert around the chest area. Compression garments with metal hooks or clasps can do the same along the torso. When that happens, officers are required to resolve the anomaly. Sometimes it's a quick rescan. Other times, it leads to a private pat-down conducted by a same-gender officer. For many travelers, especially older passengers, that experience feels deeply invasive and stressful, even when procedures are handled professionally. The important thing to understand is this. The scanner cannot distinguish between supportive metal and prohibited metal. It simply flags density. So what's the best approach? On travel days, choose wireless bras or sports bras with no metal components. If you require extra support, look for options that use molded fabric or plastic reinforcement instead of wire. Avoid compression garments that rely on metal hooks or clasps. If you prefer your usual undergarments for comfort at your destination, pack them in your carry-on and change after you pass security. It's a small adjustment, but it can prevent a long, uncomfortable delay. Because when it comes to airport screening in 2026, even hidden metal matters. Number 5. Jackets with hidden metal threads. This is where many travelers are caught completely off guard. You look down at your jacket. It feels soft, comfortable, harmless. But what you can't see may be exactly what the scanner detects. Modern airport scanners, including advanced systems used by the Transportation Security Administration, don't just react to visible hardware like large zippers. They detect metallic fibers woven into fabric, decorative threading, sequins, stud accents, and even small metal-tipped drawstrings. And the problem is, many travelers don't even realize their clothing contains metal. Certain cardigans, shimmer knit sweaters, and travel wraps include fine metallic threads to add texture or subtle shine. To the human eye, it looks decorative. To a millimeter wave scanner, it appears as scattered points of density across the torso. That creates what security systems classify as an anomaly. One traveler wore a lightweight cardigan with nearly invisible metallic stitching. The scanner flagged her upper body. She was asked to remove the layer and undergo additional screening. Another passenger wearing a winter jacket with multiple zippers, snaps, and metal cord tips triggered repeated alerts until every outer layer was removed. Each metal element increases the chance of delay. Here's the simple rule. If your jacket has shine, hardware, or decorative stitching, it may not be scanner-friendly. Instead, choose clean, minimal outer layers. Fleece without metal trim. Hoodies with plastic zippers. Simple cotton or performance fabric jackets. Before leaving home, check for metal snaps, hidden studs, decorative threads, heavy zipper systems. If you wouldn't notice the metal at first glance, the scanner still will. In 2026, subtle details aren't subtle to airport security, and the less your clothing reflects density, the faster you move forward. Number 6. Decorative belts. At first glance, this seems obvious. Large metal buckles have always required removal at airport security, but in 2026, the issue goes far beyond oversized belt buckles. Modern body scanners, including those used by the Transportation Security Administration, don't just detect the buckle at the front. They detect metal throughout the entire belt structure. That includes internal metal rivets, reinforced eyelets, hidden support strips, decorative studs, Western-style engraved plates. Even slim, stylish belts with small buckles can trigger alerts if they contain distributed metal components. One traveler wore a standard leather belt with evenly spaced metal eyelets. The scanner flagged the waistline. He was asked to remove the belt while juggling his carry-on, phone, and jacket, all while standing in a crowded line. Another passenger struggled to remove a tightly fitted belt quickly enough, causing a delay behind her. Security protocols treat metal around the torso as a high-priority detection area. Officers are required to clear it every time. The solution is simple. Eliminate the problem before it starts. On travel days, choose pants with elastic waistbands or built-in adjustable waist systems. Many travel brands now offer comfortable, structured options that don't require a belt at all. If you prefer wearing a belt at your destination, place it in your carry-on before entering the security line and put it on after screening. Here's the rule to remember. If your belt contains visible or hidden metal, expect to remove it. In today's airports, efficiency matters. The fewer items you need to take off in the line, the faster and calmer your experience will be. Because when it comes to security in 2026, simplicity isn't just convenient, it's strategic. Number 7. Shoes with metal or complex lacing. If there's one item that consistently triggers delays at airport security, it's footwear. And not just heavy boots. Modern body scanners and walk-through detectors, including those operated by the Transportation Security Administration, are now sensitive enough to detect small concentrations of metal embedded inside shoes. We're talking about metal shanks for arch support, decorative side plates, reinforced eyelets, and even lace hooks. Many travelers don't realize their shoes contain metal at all. Orthopedic shoes often include internal metal stabilizers. Hiking shoes may have reinforced toe caps. Stylish sneakers sometimes feature metal logos or lace loops. Even when the metal is small, scanners can flag it as a dense object near the foot. When that happens, officers are required to resolve the alert, and that usually means removing your shoes. One traveler wearing doctor-recommended orthopedic shoes triggered an alarm due to a small metal arch insert. She was asked to remove them and wait while they were inspected manually. The delay was uncomfortable and unnecessary, but completely avoidable. Complex lacing systems create another issue. High-top shoes or tightly tied sneakers take time to remove, slowing you down and increasing stress in a busy security line. Here's the golden rule. If you cannot remove your shoes in 3 seconds without bending excessively, they're not airport shoes. Instead, choose slip-on footwear with no metal components. Look for fabric or foam-based support. Elastic panels are ideal. Avoid decorative hardware entirely. If weather requires heavier footwear, wear simple slip-on shoes through security and pack bulkier options in your carry-on. In 2026, the fastest travelers aren't rushing. They're prepared. And at airport security, the right shoes can make all the difference. Airport security in 2026 isn't just about what's inside your luggage anymore. It's about what you're wearing, how it scans, and how quickly the system can clear you. The good news? Every delay we talked about today is preventable. No decorative metal, no excessive layers, no complex shoes, no unnecessary accessories. When you dress with the scanner in mind, you reduce stress, avoid secondary screenings, and move through security with confidence instead of anxiety. Most travelers who experience long delays aren't doing anything wrong. They're simply unaware that the technology has changed. But now you know, and that knowledge gives you an advantage. If this video helped you rethink how you prepare for airport security, there's more you need to be aware of, especially if you travel with medications, medical devices, or special health needs. The rules around those have evolved too, and many travelers are being delayed because of simple documentation mistakes. That's exactly why this channel exists. We break down updated airport procedures, airline policies, senior travel concerns, and hidden travel rules in a calm, clear, practical way, so you can fly prepared instead of pressured. If you value stress-free travel, smoother screenings, and staying ahead of new airport changes, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. New travel updates are released regularly, and they could save you time, money, and unnecessary frustration on your next trip. Travel should feel exciting, not intimidating. Prepare smart, dress simple, move confidently, and I'll see you in the next video.